Hiya Hinsters, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome too. This is the new moon in Leo, and it might be a bit of a quick one. Let's see. I think the channeling has been a bit more kind of concise and concise, compressed than the last video that I did, which was, gosh, Mars in Virgo. So I hope you had a chance, or you get a chance, to check that video out as well and leave me a comment. But yes, the new moon in Leo. By the way, if you're new, do subscribe to this channel if you like what I do, and give the video a thumbs up if you resonate with this. But yes, we have this new moon on the 8th of August, so in just a few days, on a Sunday. And I think for most of us, it's a Sunday. 16 degrees of Leo. And it's going to be quite strong in the UK here between 2:30, 3:30. And by the way, if you are not sure like what a new moon is versus a full moon, for example, you can check out a video I already made on that, just very generally, if you want some more background information. And of course, you can check out my videos on the previous full moon that we had and the previous new moon before that. So you can keep track and look through my Moonwatch series if you like, so that you're staying kind of in the loop of all of the kind of lunar cycles of this astral year, of this metal ox year, in a kind of greater context and the bigger picture. So this is also a cazimi. I mentioned before in one of my Moonwatch videos that the new moon is a cazimi, basically when the moon and the sun are at the same degree, and the moon is kind of engulfed by, if you like, the sun. And there's this, it is said, there is this sort of very kind of miraculous, or very, very exceptionally clear sort of realization of something, or a download, you might call it. Some people would say it's a download of some sort. And because it's the sun, which is the divine illuminator, the realizer, and the moon, which is the fastest sort of absorber of information, the fastest sort of intuitor, if you like. It can be a very, and it's in Leo, so it can be a very dramatic, powerful, passionate sort of realization of our emotionality, or realization of something lunar that has to be perhaps cut out. New moons can, of course, as I said in the new moon full moons video, new moons can be about just cutting something out as well, or burning out of, right, or burning up, especially with this cazimi energy, burning something up. And here it's the moon that kind of gets burnt up or engulfed by the sun. And one way this can be read is that you just realize that there's something, you know, one lunar thing is attachment. So there's something that, or someone you've just been attached to, and finally you are detaching. Or there could be some sort of lunar cycle, you know, the moon rules, or the moon rules Cancer. And so there can be sort of themes of symbiotic nature, themes of codependency that are being burnt away now, or at least something powerful is being realized about these things. And also we have this new moon squaring Uranus in Taurus. And so yes, I do think that this can introduce for some of us at this time a kind of tension. A square is tension. So a tension that has to do with perhaps wanting to just drop it all, leave it all. But as I've been mentioning, there's some caution here in this particular year. Wait maybe a few more months before you quit something or run away from something or flip something, irreversibly, because that's what Uranus often tempts us to do. I think in the more healthy way, it is more about, for some of us, a challenge in terms of what are you going to do in all this newness and in this realization. What are you going to do to ensure that there's more of a foundation or more of a kind of pure and simple Taurian sense, realness to it? What are you going to do? What are you going to shake up? And that which is also very close to your heart, Leo, and that which is very dynamic and expressive, Leo, and that which is full of heart as well, Leo, but heart that goes out now, the heart that beats out now. What is it that you're going to do to dedicate, to show? Sorry, something just happened there. What is it that you're going to do to dedicate or to show? Sorry about that, got disturbed. Maybe there is a partner of yours or a friend of yours or a family member of yours that with whom there needs to be this sort of shake up, this sort of tension, so as to create a better foundation, so as to make something purer or simpler. And especially with Venus and Virgo now, Mars and Virgo now, and in this ox year, the Virgoan energy just isn't really doing us too well. It's more harmful this year. It's more distracting, let's say, this year. And so the intrusive thoughts and things like that can really throw us off this year, throw us out of our lane as well. By the way, also check out my Mercury in Leo video that I recently made, because that was also a cazimi. We're also just coming out of Mercury Sun cazimi. So there was also that combustion or the melting or engulfing, right, of Mercury or something mercurial. So the mind or messages, that kind of thing. We've also got Venus opposing Neptune, retrograding Neptune. So Venus in Virgo, as I said, and Neptune retrograding in Pisces at the time of this new moon. And so I feel with this opposition that we have alongside the new moon, things shouldn't be confusing anymore, basically. Things shouldn't be confusing. And the particular detail, the thing that does need to be ironed out, shouldn't be a mystery, really. And hopefully we are getting over or have gotten over anything that is just confusing us in terms of Venusian things like relationships or that which is pleasant, that which is perhaps too indulgent. So there shouldn't be any mystery as to what we're supposed to do about that. We've also got the new moon at this time trining the retrograding Chiron in Aries. So again, with this Leonite boldness, expressiveness, and all that jazz, it has to do with, as I've been mentioning in many of my videos, it has to do with no longer being able to help others or another situation or another space, because there's this need to put yourself first, put your mask, airplane mask on first before, assisting another, so that you can both survive, right? That kind of thing. And also, I think this new moon for some of us is going to bring an acceptance, finally, of something to do with relationships again. It might be a specific relationship of yours or multiple relationships. Leo season can be very dramatic as well. So it might have a whole sort of dramatis personae. And also this new moon, because new moons can be similar to full moons, it brings this letting go theme as well for some of us. And I think there's something or some issue, some drama that we're just letting go of. We're just going to let it go or let it be. And also there's a confidence here that some of us are having in what I'm calling the divine return. So, if you've lost something or someone, there's going to be someone coming back. That kind of faith or confidence, Leonite energy, the sun, that kind of confidence in that divine return, and also dignified responses and solutions to problems. Leonite energy, again, dignity. And again, I feel like a lot of us are having these realizations and these kind of big kind of downloads or big reception of information, or just big, bold, bright as day sort of intuition as to what to do, as to how to, respond, or as to how to solve a particular problem. I also think that this new moon is going to bring us like this mix in terms of the feel or the vibe, this mix of freshness with a bit of the tiredness, tenderness as well. And also maybe a little bit of agitation coming from Venus in Virgo, which is leading the planets right now, leading the fanfare, if you like, the cosmic conversation and the divine dance. And so there can be this like tiredness, that sort of thing, restlessness as well. Feeling a bit more perhaps like a full moon might typically be described. Also, I think there's going to be like feelings of wanting to work on ourselves and also comfort ourselves, heal ourselves, or find the mushroom, find the thing that's going to like heal us and free us in some sense from something. And also to deal with the detail in the best and not the worst possible ways. I talked in my previous video, I think, with Mars and Virgo about the detail. And so finding, again, the solutions that are the least dramatic and the most sort of dignified, but also they're just the best or most efficient sorts of method. And also Leo season is fixed fire. So there's this fixed energy, which might actually keep us stuck in some places due to such things as pride, very Leonite thing. So while there's this kind of want, I think, to address the detail, there's the fixation that might prevent us from actually doing that because we might be proud, or we're just stuck in a particular other mode of expression or desire. I talked in my previous video about like the imagination we have of ourselves, imagined selves, and there might be that too much of the what I want to put out there versus what I'm actually doing to get myself out there, kind of thing. Now, something is also going to be glaringly obvious to some on this new moon, around this new moon, and we can't stay in the dark too long. I think there's going to be more time for us to do kind of the darker things, the shadow work and all that later in the year. But some of us might be trying to rush into the latter part of the year, into that shadow worky sort of side. But I think, again, there isn't much mystery right now. There isn't much that needs to be resolved or picked apart. Some things should just be obvious as to what to do. And it might even be coming through, your friends, your family, your partner, whatever, the solutions. Venus and Virgo energy, very, 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 it is what it is. And again, as I've been saying, very like what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. Now, also, we're coming off Saturn, a retrograding Saturn in Capricorn, opposition to the sun in Leo. And so that does also play into this new moon, again, with the exhaustion or the introspection, which is really, really interesting to have around a new moon. So I think there can be these like illuminations of things that, had a grip on our heart in some way. Again, these like releases, maybe like releases of pain, learning to live with pain, the mushroom, the cure, the medicine, being found, discovered, or learned about as well. A subconscious giving away as well of self to unworthy people might be something that you're realizing now. We are realizing now, giving too much of the self to certain spaces or ideas as well. And a kind of metacosmos of like understanding the futility of things. It can get very like philosophical and melancholic as well around this new moon, I think, for some of us, and like the finite nature of things. But it's not about lingering, right, on that melancholy or that fact, but there's a sort of like magical peace being found for some through the acceptance of these facts of life, right? And also, this new moon is pertaining, I think, to the themes of relationships, the other, and obvious animosities. This is the 16th degree, new moon on the 16th degree of Leo, and this is like number seven energy then, so those sorts of things. And also Rihanna's lyric has been coming to mind as I've been channeling for this video. That lyric, I can't remember the name of the song now, but that lyric, all of my kindness was taken for weakness. All of my kindness was taken for weakness. That kind of theme can be playing out very strong. These sorts of realizations around that kind of thing can be coming through. And I guess stepping out of, away from, again, giving that kindness away, being too nice or too gentle. And I think this new moon brings us themes of handling it, just handling things, or just sucking something up, eating some crow, that kind of thing can really play out as well, with, again, Venus in Virgo leading all of this. And finally, I think some of us will be taking some like needed advice to heart, if that advice is like in alignment with your lane or your right way or the necessary strengthening. So that's kind of all I have for you and this new moon in Leo. Wish you a great one. Leave me in the comments, by the way, which house or houses, which house you're having this new moon in, and let's talk about it. Love you very much and see you next time. Bye.